Hi, this is Brett from SRmoto, and I wanted to do a quick project bike update video for our Honda CRF450L dual sport project bike. It's been a while since I've done one of these update videos, and we've done quite a few things to the bike over the summer, so I thought now would be a good time to do a quick update video. Just let me mention real quick our website. Our online store is at soloracer.com. If you go there, navigate to the CRF450L parts section, you'll find all the parts that we carry for these bikes. I'll also put a link in the video description to the online store, as well as to the project bike page that lists out all the different parts we've installed on the bike. So again, this is our 2019 Honda CRF450L. All the parts that I talk about in this video are going to fit a 2019 and up 450L, and in most cases they'll fit the CRF450X off-road bike as well, which is what this bike is based on. I'm just going to go around the bike basically and kind of talk about briefly all the stuff we've done to it. I'll start with the lighting changes that we made to the tail light and turn signals. In the rear, we're running a 12 O'Clock Labs integrated tail light and fender eliminator kit. We've got a more detailed video on the channel that you can see that'll give you a more in-depth overview of this tail light kit. It's basically a replacement LED tail light. It replaces the entire stock tail light as well as that big aluminum piece that hangs off the back that the license plate is attached to. And we're running as an integrated tail light on this bike, and I'll kind of show you real quick what that means. It's going to work as not only a brake light and a running light, but it's going to flash the turn signals right within the tail light itself. It's got like 5 or 6 different programmable flash types you can do. This is the scrolling flash, I believe. There's a standard flash, hyper flash, a couple different flashes as well. And the nice thing about this is, it gets rid of the stock turn signals, which kind of stick out quite a bit and can easily get broken off if you drop the bike. So this kind of really cleans up the tail section of the bike. It also includes the license plate bracket, and they also include a backing plate for the license plate to kind of make it stronger. It's got a built-in license plate light that shines down on the license plate. Super bright LEDs. 12 O'Clock Labs has gone to kind of some extreme lengths to make it off-road worthy. They've coated the LED board in waterproof material and stuff like that. So really nice setup. One of the nice features too is it's got this safety brake pulsing feature, which will pulse the brake light. You can turn that off if you want, but it's on by default. So that's the taillight kit we're running. As far as front turn signals go, we've got Zeta hand guards, which I'll talk about here in a minute, and we're running the integrated turn signals on those, so we no longer have the big stock turn signals sticking out there. And I'll go and talk about the hand guards here in a second. So that's what we're running for turn signals. Also, this bike does come from the factory with running lights in the front, so the stock front turn signals are on as running lights. So to get the LEDs and the handguards to work as running lights, we also have a 12 O'Clock Labs running light adapter installed, which is wired in when you wire in the front turn signals. We also have the 12 O'Clock Labs fixed rate turn signal flasher installed so that these turn signals will not hyper flash, so they'll flash slow like they're supposed to. As far as the headlight goes, we did swap out the stock headlight for this really slick Baja Designs headlight that they make specifically for the 450L. I'm not going to talk about it too much here, but if you're looking for a super bright headlight, especially for night riding, this is definitely the way to go. It's amazing. I tried to put some photos up on the product page that shows the comparison between the stock headlight and this one, and especially at night you're going to notice it. With the low beams on, it's a lot brighter than the stock headlight and lights up a lot more of the road. in the trail in front of you, but with the brights on, I mean, it just lights up everything. It's a really slick setup. Not cheap, but if you're doing night riding or just want to be seen better on the road, check that out. It's a Baja Designs headlight kit for the CRF450L. One other kind of piece, not lighting, but electrical, we're running a 12 o'clock labs speedometer calibrator as well to make the speedometer and odometer a little bit more accurate. The stock one, it's off a little bit, so we put those speedometer calibrators on to correct that. As far as handlebars and handguards go, we've got rid of the stock Renthals and we're running these Pro Taper Contour 1 1/8 inch handlebars. We're running the CR High Bend, and we've mounted those up with the Pro Taper handlebar mounts, which replace the stock bar mounts with these 1 1/8 inch bar mounts. Sits a little bit higher than stock, not by too much, but it is a little bit higher overall. And at the same time, when we installed those, we replaced the stock OEM rubber cones with Pro Taper sport bar mount cones, which are just supposed to be a little bit stronger rubber cones for the handlebar mounts. Pro Taper pillow top grips, which is what we run on all the bikes. G2 Tamer throttle tube. It's an aluminum throttle tube. Works really well when you install handguards. It's got a removable end cap on it, so that way you don't have to cut the throttle tube down or anything. It's a Tamer throttle tube, which gives you a little bit better throttle control in that first half of the throttle rotation. We run these on a lot of our bikes, and it's super smooth throttle tube. It's got Delrin bushings, so you'll definitely notice a difference compared to the stock throttle tube. So that's a G2 Tamer throttle tube. Got rid of the stock mirrors. We're running our double take Enduro mirror package. You get 2 of these, thread right into the stock perches. They utilize ram mounts, really durable mirror. If you drop the bike, these will hopefully not break. They're designed to kind of move out of the way if you hit them, since they're on those ram mounts. And then you can also fold them down out of the way if you're riding off road and you're not using them. You can fold them down out of the way. You can also take them off real easily by just removing the ram mount from the ball stud and throw them in your tank bag or whatever. But those are the double take Enduro mirrors. As far as handguards go, we've got our really popular Zeta Pro Armor handguard package. These have been really popular for these bikes. Somewhat updated as well. They now come with a specific triple clamp mount you can get for the CRF450L. A lot of guys like these because you don't have to use handlebar clamps. They'll instead of handlebar clamps, they're attached to the top triple clamp. And you can get them in a couple different color combinations. We're running the titanium silver on this bike. You can also get them in black. They've got the black plastic bumpers attached to the outer edge of the handguard. The plastic protectors you can get with it come in a couple different colors: red, black, white, blue, yellow, you name it. They come in a different, we've got the red on this one. And like I mentioned, they've also got, optionally, you can add the integrated turn signals to those. So those have been really popular. It's the Zeta Pro Armor handguards. As far as the seat goes, on this bike, I just have it kind of setting on here right now. It's not even bolted on, but this is a Seat Concepts Comfort XL seat. And this is the black gripper top with the red low slip sides. And it's the standard foam height. A little bit wider version of the standard comfort seat. Really comfortable, a lot more comfortable than the stock seat, which is super narrow. These are quite a bit wider, the part you sit on, and then it tapers up near the tank. I've got a separate video on the channel that kind of goes in detail on these. But if you're looking for a much more comfortable seat, this seat concept's either the Comfort XL or the Comfort seat. The regular width Comfort seat is definitely the way to go. Foot pegs, switched over to pivot pegs. The guy here that rides this bike really likes these pivot pegs. He uses them on a lot of his bikes. And these, if you're not familiar with them, they pivot a little bit. As you kind of move on the bike, they kind of rotate along with your foot. People that have used these kind of swear by them. So we tried those out on this bike, and I haven't used them very much, but I've ridden this bike some, and you almost don't even notice that they're there, which is kind of good. But they do rotate along with the movement of your boot. And one thing I noticed is almost on this side makes it a little easier to get your foot under the shift lever too. I've kind of noticed that. So that's the pivot pegs for the CRF450L. As far as protection goes, Flatland Racing skid plate, really nice aluminum skid plate. A lot of protection. These have been really popular. You can get them in this natural finish, or they also come in a black finish as well, a powder coated finish. Real nice fit, super easy to install. One of the nice things on these bikes that I've noticed, you know, a lot of times people complain with aluminum skid plates is that they make a lot of noise. You get vibration, you get noise kind of bouncing off the skid plate. You're not going to notice that on these bikes, and I think it's because Honda's added all this plastic to the engine to quiet it down, but you wouldn't even know you have an aluminum skid plate on this bike, whereas on some other bikes, WR250Rs, DRZ400s, you definitely know when you've installed an aluminum skid plate. It just makes the bike sound different, and a lot of people will, you know, line the inside of the skid plate with rubber and stuff to kind of eliminate that noise. You don't need to do it on this bike. Honda's already kind of done it for you with all the plastic they've put on the bike. So that's a Flatland Racing skid plate. We're also running Flatland Racing radiator guards. You get a pair of them, one for each side. Oh, nice. These are a little different than some radiator guards. These are not just covers for the front. These actually wrap all the way around and mount to like 3 different spots, so they kind of surround the entire radiator and really protect it. So if you drop the bike, it's, you know, the radiators are kind of enclosed inside these guards, which is, you know, makes them, you know, really, really effective, I think. Drive cover, got rid of the plastic drive cover, replaced it with this Zeta. It's a combination drive cover with case saver built in. Direct bolt on, bolts right on in place of that plastic protector. IMS 3-gallon fuel tank. We've done the natural on this bike, natural color, so you can see the fuel level through the tank. Gives you another gallon of fuel over the stock tank. Your low fuel light will still work like it's supposed to. So it's nice. A lot of guys I think are doing that just to, you know, that stock 2-gallon tank is just too small on these bikes. So that's an IMS 3-gallon tank. It's available in that natural color, or you can get it in black like we've got on our SRmoto. Flatland Racing cargo rack in the rear, and then we've got a Wolfman tail bag on the bike. So that's Flatland Racing. You can get it in either the black color like this or all silver. Zeta rear axle blocks in red. Get a pair of them for each side. Zeta rear brake clevis in red. These are just a couple little cosmetic things. Clutch cable guide in red. One nice thing here that we recently installed, got rid of the stock chain guide and added this Zeta 3D chain guide, which is in red with black. TM Design Works rear caliper guard. These are available in black or red. Tires. Swapped out the tires. We're running a Dunlop D606 rear, 130/90 by 18. That's what we went with in the rear. And then in the front, we're running a Pirelli MT21 in a 90/90/21 size. I really like that combination. I've run that on several dual sport bikes. And we're running Michelin inner tubes. Drivetrain so far pretty much stock chain, stock front sprocket. We did do a G2 dually steel ring rear sprocket, which is available in red. It's aluminum center section and then black outer ring. It's made of steel, you know, for durability. So it's a real lightweight sprocket, but still has the durability of a steel sprocket. And let's see. Performance. On this bike, we've added a full FMF system. FMF Q4 muffler and FMF Megabomb header pipe. And we have a JD Jetting EFI controller installed and a twin air filter. Really wakes the bike up. Sounds obviously a lot better. Surprisingly, the FMF system is not much louder than stock when you install the spark arrestor. We took the spark arrestor out just to see what it sounded like. With the spark arrestor in, it is not much louder than stock. It's got a little bit better sound, but not a heck of a lot louder. It's a little bit louder without the spark arrestor. Still not quite as loud as like a Yoshimura system, but definitely has a good sound to it. And with that JD Jetting EFI controller, really wakes the bike up. Bike runs a lot better. Real nice setup. I've been real pleased with it. Drops a little bit of weight too. That stock muffler is pretty heavy. I think we ended up saving about 8 pounds, 7 or 8 pounds overall, switching over to the FMF system. I think that's about it for this update. Again, I will put links in the video description over to the online store where you can find all the parts we sell for these. We started carrying quite a few parts for these bikes. I'll also put a link in to this specific project bike so you can see a list of all the parts that we've put on it. And I'll also put one for the SRmoto project bike, which we've been working on quite a bit as well. There's a separate video on the channel if you want to see that bike. More details about that one. So again, this is our 2019 Honda CRF450L dual sport project bike. We've got a couple other things that we're going to be doing shortly to it. We're going to add a Scott steering stabilizer, custom graphics, a different chain. I think we're going to put a DID chain on it, and a few other things here and there. So stay tuned to the channel for that. If you have any questions, our email address is on the website. Shoot us an email. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. And again, that's about it for now. I think I've pretty much covered everything we've done to it so far. So that's it. Stay tuned to the channel for more updates on this bike and the SRmoto project bike. That's it for now. Again, it's Brett from SRmoto. Thanks for watching.